before we jump into the face, I'm feeling, I don't know, what am I feeling? I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna do something really quick with this Milani Soft and Sultry palette. Okay, I think I'm gonna take some of this shade in the crease. Let me just throw it on and then I'll tell you what I did. All right, that's what we're gonna go with today. This part looks a little crazy. It is stained a little bit from the other day when I did a full purple look. If that is up, I will link that for you up above. I followed a tutorial by Makeup with Alex and I thought it turned out really nice. And so yeah, this is looking a little pink up here, but nothing. So I went in with this shade on the crease, this shade in the outer corner, this shade kind of on the outer and into the middle, and then this shade in the middle to the inner part, and then I went back in with this shade and kind of deepened up the crease, and then I went in with this shade up at the top. So now I'm just going to throw on some mascara. I'm going to use some Essence Volume Stylist. My eyelashes are still tacky from the day where I did lashes. Like, I can still see little clumps of glue, but that's good enough. So now what we're here for, retesting the KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm. Now, I have tested this foundation in its own wear test, so I will link that video for you above. This is in the shade Light 06. Now, when I applied it, as you will see if you watch that video, I loved it upon initial application. It looked flawless. It was very full coverage, but so lightweight. It literally feels like there's nothing on your skin. However, the first time I tried this, I tried it with a brush. This is the KVD foundation brush that came with the foundation when I ordered it from the KVD website. The second time I tried it with a round kabuki brush. So I initially applied it with a brush and then patted over the top of it with a sponge. However, I was recently watching Allie Gline, or Allie Gline's, is it Allie Gline or Allie Gline's? I was watching her video on this and she said to use it with a sponge. And I did not apply it with a sponge solely. Like, I did the brush and then I tapped over it with the sponge. So today we are giving this another run, and we are going to use our sponge and application, and I did actually get up and wet the entire thing to give it some moisture. Now, I sprayed my face with my Catrice Prime and Fine. I'm going to do one side, no primer, and one side with sunscreen. Because if I was going to wear this out, I would want to make sure it wears well over my sunscreen. So, look how red my poor skin turns. So this side has sunscreen, this side has no sunscreen. So let's go ahead and apply our foundation. Again, I'm taking the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge and just tapping it into the product. All right. And let's see how this does. Really, you don't understand how desperately I want this to work, because look at this coverage. And it is so, when I say lightweight, I mean it doesn't feel like there's anything on my face. Nothing. So here is the side with the sponge. I am going to go in on this side with a brush because I want to be able to see the difference. Even though in my first video I used a brush, I don't want to have to go back and reference that. I want to be able to see in this video how the brush side wears compared to the side where we applied it with a sponge. So I'm going to go in with the KVD Good Foundation, whatever this is. Oh my gosh, it's so full coverage and so lightweight. It just, it hurts my soul that this didn't work. I want this to work. Yeah, it just looks so rough. All right, let's go over like I would have in the other video with my sponge. So now that you're up close, here is the side with the brush, tapping over it with the sponge, it just doesn't look the best. And I really don't think that's my sunscreen, because I wear that sunscreen all the time and have no issues. And here is the side with just the sponge. I feel like I got a little more coverage on the side where I used the brush on my cheek versus where I used the sponge. So let me just tap in the smallest amount. And I'm just going to see if I can press this in at all right here. Yeah, it did a little something. So I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup, and then we'll do a wear test to see if the application using a brush or a sponge really makes a difference. Okay, I went ahead and finished my face. The foundation's not looking very good. Let me pull you in and show you. Okay, so like, what is it doing right there? Like, I don't know what's happening right there. It looks rough right there. Like, look at this side. What's happening right there? Look how dry and crazy that looks right there. So I will say, while I'm not a fan of either side at the moment, the sponge side does look less bad. This side where I used the brush just looks so dry right here. Yeah, so I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, the sponge solved all my problems, because it really didn't. It still doesn't look great. It doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look like, oh yeah, now we figured out the secret. Unfortunately, it just doesn't look like that yet. However, it does look nicer. Sorry, I'm organizing back here. I've got so much makeup on my desk where I filmed yesterday and I filmed today. My husband's like, why do you have so much makeup all over your desk? I'm like, well, that's what I use for different videos so that I can list it in the description box. So again, this side we did with the brush, this side we used the sponge. So I'm going to finish wearing this today. It is 1:30 now, and I will check back in with you later and we'll see how the KVD Good Apple Skin Balm Foundation is wearing. 7 o'clock check-in on the Good Apple Foundation Balm. Now, just to recap, this side we did a brush, this side we did a sponge, this side we had sunscreen, this side we had no type of primer or anything. Okay, I'm not going to judge my chin because I just got soy sauce like dried to my chin and I end up rubbing all the makeup off, so just ignore my chin. I'm not worried about this, but see how it broke apart on my nose? You see how rough it looks in between my eyebrows? Does either side look the greatest? No. Does one side look better than the other? Yes. I would have to say the side with the brush, do you see how it just looks, I don't know, what would you call that? Like kind of dry and cakey right there and right here. Whereas this side, honestly, the only place that it looks a little rough is right here. Okay, but from looking straight on, I have to say the side with the sponge does look a little bit better. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I still have noodles on my shirt. I made stir fry for dinner. Anyway, would I recommend you purchasing this? No. If you already own it, I would say try applying it with a sponge. I think sometime this week, not tomorrow, because I have a different video I want to film, but sometime this week, probably just on my own time, I'm going to try this one more time. Make sure that my face is very well hydrated, and then apply it all over with a sponge. And so when I do that, I will let you know in the description box if that did anything or not. So does a sponge make a difference? Yes, I actually think it does. I think I just need to hydrate a lot more, and I'm going to try it one more time. I also think I'm going to try not powdering it. So more hydration, less powder. Because when you first put it on, you think, okay, I need to set this down. But then as it kind of dries, it's not as tacky as you would think. So really, I don't think it needed all the powder that I put on it. So more hydration, less powder. So next time I wear this, I will try that, and I will leave it in the description box for you below. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.